Rach,
That's me.
what stresses people out about moving?
The unknown.
Into the unknown.
Yes, you nailed it. Yeah, especially in new construction, right? It's like,
Oh gosh. Yeah.
what to expect, what are the timelines, it's the unknown
What's it
factors.
gonna look like?
Yeah, no kidding, exactly. Can I move? Can I afford to move? I gotta move twice, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, so that's why we're making this video series and gonna take you guys through the entire process from start to finish on building a new home, because it's the unknown stuff that freaks you out. And so in this series, we're gonna be bouncing in and out of the studio. As a matter of fact, if you hang on to the end, we're gonna leave the studio and get out in the field at some active projects that we have going on right now, so that you can get firsthand insight on what to expect and how quickly you can expect it when building a home, and it starts now.
Well, there's a few months of work that go into building a home before you ever start construction. So let's talk about what that looks like. First, you have your survey work. In this current environment, it takes approximately 4 weeks from the day you order the survey before you get your results. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really true.
Yeah, so once the boundary survey is complete, you hand that off to a soil engineer and they obtain soil samples or borings. And so if you're doing a well and septic system, there's a couple of different, there's broadly speaking, 2 different types of systems. One is a conventional system and the other is an advanced or engineered system. The primary difference between the two are advanced systems have a secondary treatment unit that removes wastewater and contaminants before discharging into the drain field. Generally speaking, conventional systems are a little cheaper. They don't really require much design. You just kind of fit it to the lot, whereas engineered systems, they take a little more time. There's engineers involved and they are more expensive, generally speaking. And there's like tons more distinctions and categories underneath those two, but for the sake of this video, not worth going into. Simultaneously did all that. While that's going on, you can be finalizing your building plans. You can be submitting the building plan to your surveyor for inclusion on the site plan, where they draw the actual footprint dimensions of the house on your site plan, which generally speaking is the 2-scale drawing of the entire project itself. It's your survey with your house and the topographical elevations so that your lot drains properly and all of that fun stuff. So now that we have the site plan and soil results, Rachel, the septic design.
Timeline check.
Yeah, let's
So
do it.
where are we at in our timeline? At this point, we are about 8 weeks from the day you ordered the survey.
It's a 2 months worth of work.
Yep.
And this can get kind of long, right? Because like, you're thinking, man, I signed a contract with the builder 2 months ago. Nothing's happening.
What's going on?
What's that feel like, Rachel?
It can be tiresome.
Yeah. So it's the slowest part of the process for sure. And you don't think a lot's going on, but behind the scenes, there is a lot going on. So meanwhile, you got all that done. Now we're talking about submitting our building plan and our site plan to the local municipality, which can take, once they receive it, how long do they have to review it?
Gosh, they have 30 days to review it, but if they have notes, could take probably 30 to 60 days, maybe even longer.
Yeah, so when she says if they have notes, basically they give it back to you with comments, which is it's sort of a bureaucratic FU way of saying you're going to have to do this the way we want you to do it. So you have to appease the government, and we all like to play nice with the government because we don't want to be at odds with them. So you submit your stuff, they have 30 days to review it, then they can send it back 30 days later with comments, and you hope that the comments don't require extensive revision to either your plans or to the site plan. If so, you make those revisions quickly, you resubmit, they have another 30 days, but hopefully they do it in a more timely manner on the second or sometimes the third submittal. So like during this whole time, Rachel, what else could be going on, do you think?
So while we're waiting on the city to approve our building permits, you can get to work with your VDOT right-of-way permit, your land disturbance permit, maybe even the power company design work, so that all of those things are in place and you can get going as soon as you get that approval from the city.
So during this time, hopefully your builder, or hopefully us, myself, would be working on your quotation. So like figuring out how much it's gonna cost to clear, how much land are we clearing, what's the land development gonna cost, what impact this has on your overall budget, where's the silt fence gonna go, and start lining up contractors to get to work so that once we receive the building permit, we're putting a hole in the ground as soon as possible. So like timeline check at this point, where are we at, Rachel?
Well, at this point, we are 3 to 4 months from the day we ordered that survey. So it could be 4 months at this point that we still have not broken ground.
Yeah, however, Building permits here, everything's going. We got our building permit back. Now it's time to call the surveyor to mark the area of disturbance, the clearing area. It's also time to get clearing, and weather depending, you know, clearing, let's say half an acre, which is a good size lot or area to clear. Probably in the 7 to 14 day zone for clearing half an acre, and that's
Depending on the weather.
exactly.
Density of the trees and the soil, like, gosh, did it rain like 2 weeks before and the soil's like super saturated?
Yeah, and rain's a game changer. Like, it's a showstopper. If it's raining, nobody's gonna get in an excavator and try to get out there, because you're just gonna make a huge mess and get machinery stuck, and that's like way worse than doing nothing. So a couple of weeks to clear half an acre if all goes well. And then next, Rachel, it's what? Silt fence. It's having the surveyor come back and stake the foundation, mark the corners of the home, and then it's time to get to digging. So for the sake of that timeline check, Rachel, where are we at now?
At this point, we are definitely at the 4-month mark, maybe even to that 5-month mark. And just think about this, if one of those steps was delayed, the whole process gets delayed. So if your surveyor gets sick and can't go out and mark the area of disturbance, then you're waiting on that.
Unless I'm your builder, I'm firing the guy that's sick and getting a new surveyor that it's not a
So it's very important to have a builder that is timely, holds their vendors to their timelines, AKA hounding them to make sure they're doing their jobs in a good, timely manner.
Yeah, the show must go on, and it's your builder's job to logistically pull all of these resources and people and teams together to keep things on timeline and on budget. So that's what's going on the build side, project management side. There's also a lot of things that could be going on the sales side, like
design work, selections, pricing those things out.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll leave that for another video. For now, let's get out in the field and check out some projects that we are actively building for clients right now. So we'll see you there. Here we are, lot 5 of a subdivision that we're building out. And actually, we just wrapped up the site work here. So as you'll see, the silt fence is up, the lot has been cleared, the construction driveway is in, and actually we just got news this morning that our building permit is approved. You see the email from Chase?
Yes!
So we got a building permit, and within a couple of weeks, we'll be out here. We've called in for the surveyor to stake the foundation so that we know precisely where to dig, and we will be breaking ground on this lot within the next week or so. So fun times, and this is kind of what it looks like once the site work is developed, and this is the culminating point of all the things that happened prior to breaking ground. So to get to this point took us approximately 4.5 months, and that was with us being very assertive and following up with all the different vendors and the survey company and the engineers that worked on this, and as well as the county. I mean, the county sometimes shuffles things to the bottom of a pile, and you gotta bring them some donuts and say, hey, Mr.
Hey, don't forget us down at the bottom of your pile.
Mr. Permit Approver, think about us. We love you, you're great. So that's what's going on from concept to foundation. 4.5 months of work, here we are. So thanks for watching the video. Until next time, we're Jonathan and Rachel Beasley with 757 Building Company, where we exist to be a force for good by building lasting relationships.
And crafting forever homes.
See you on the next video.
You hand that off to a soil engineer, and they'll obtain soil samples or borings.
Borophyll, more like chlorophyll.
Once the survey boundary is complete, you're going to hand that off to a soil engineer to obtain soil samples or soil borings.
Sore borings? Oof.
I'll just
It's gonna
say
be a
borings.
tough one.